Bang, we got sound. There we go. Bang, we got sound. And there's the echo. All right, we should be in business now. Hi, Kate. Welcome to the show. I wasn't planning on doing one tonight. I know I normally piggyback off Yanking Gutters live streams. Here we go. Now we got sound. Hi, welcome, Austin. You made one. Yeah, Yank hit me up right on the live stream and said, "Are you going live tonight like you do?" Because usually it's sometimes you gotta get it out, and I hop on. So once you said it, I knew I had to go on. So I figured, what's on everybody's mind obviously is freedom, with 4th of July being yesterday. Our freedom's getting taken away over this issue with mass shootings and what the hell's going on in society. Bobby, how do you make your Sunday gravy? Pesky wanted to talk about sauces. Now we're gonna have to bring Eli on as a guest for a sauce talk, because he does the sauces. Me, I do steaks, potatoes. I do all kinds of different things, stir fries and pepper steaks and stuff like that. Don't have me cook your rice, because for some reason I can fuck up rice. But we'll make that a different show. You can tell me about the tomatoes and your sauces. I'm one of those bad Italians. I don't call sauce gravy. And we could get into that. Could be a whole fucking show of sauce versus gravy. And it's like the hot dog is it a sandwich thing. But tonight, I figured we would talk a little bit about what's going on with these mass shootings. And why do you think they're happening? Why do you think that you hear about them more? Because there's been mass shootings forever. As long as there have been guns, there have been mass shootings. But you hear about them, and they're sensationalized in a different manner nowadays. And you don't hear about most of them. You really don't. You don't hear about the ones that don't happen in the U.S. And that's a big clue to me about the agenda behind their reporting style on it. Because we heard about the one recently in Denmark, but they happen. We're ranked 11th in mass shootings. How come we're the number one all over the news? So to me, something fishy going on there. And I figure maybe we talk about it. What you think, what your thoughts on how we could stop them. I got a grim belief about the prevention of them, but why they're happening to begin with. We used to have 300 something beds for mental patients per 100,000 people. We now have like 16. We just let them out on the streets. Well, yeah, absolutely. The asylums weren't up to the best practices, so I understood them wanting to end that whole asylum situation and what they were doing to the people there. But at the same time, I think the majority of people that are homeless are mentally ill. They have nowhere to go. I think that now you look at law enforcement as the new mental health facility. You know, they arrest them. When a crazy person does something crazy, they arrest them, they go to jail, they get a lawyer, they serve time or get bailed out, and then they're back out on the street. They're not actually getting proper care that they need, because some of these people are just misunderstood. I've worked with a lot of mentally handicapped people. A lot of them very intelligent. They just can't get it out, or they can't communicate. They just interact different with society. Those aren't the people that I worry about. There's the criminally insane now, where people just have bloodlust. I worked in a few facilities with people like that, and I'll tell you, you had to watch your six. You couldn't put your tools down, couldn't leave drills or drill bits laying around, because they'll just pick it up and stab you to death with it. I worked in a couple of places where I'd have to warn my helpers, like, you got to be careful around here. So mental health's definitely a big part of it. And actually one of the points that I wrote down, wood chippers for the offenders. Yeah, the good old days, right? You ain't even got to waste labor or headstones. Some people, I think the wood chipper, great solution for some people. But the mental health, how we're addressing mental health, I think is also part of the problem. besides the lack thereof, the mental help that people are getting, and I'll touch on that in a minute, is subpar, to say the best. I think, in fact, it adds to the problem 90% of the time. Caught alive finally. Hey, Blunt Man. So I'll give a shout out. We got Kate. Hey, Kate. Hey, Pesky. Hey, Fly. And Blunt Man. Caught alive. In CA, used to have a choice between rehab or jail. Yep. Well, now with all the crime problems in California, what they decided to do was fire a bunch of police officers or defund a bunch of the police officers to have ambassadors, unarmed ambassadors, basically social workers. So we'll see how that works out. I'll say it just like I said before they did the no cash bail reform in New York. Just expect crime rates to go through the fucking roof. And then they're stripping everybody's rights to defend themselves. I mean, what do you expect? It's a recipe for disaster. I hate to go there, but the last crowd pew pew guy does not look normal. No, he doesn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was 2 incidents with that guy. One time, the cops showed there because he was going to commit suicide. And another time, he threatened to kill his whole family with a sword. So they came and they took the swords and stuff. But then nobody said anything when the same kid came home with 5 guns and he passed background checks. So I'm not a proponent for stronger background checks. Those of you who don't know me, I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. I don't even care if you're crazy. I really don't. Not at this point. I used to be for common sense barriers and stuff, but they've taken it so damn far, the slippery slope. I'm not for it now. I think you come out of the womb, you get a gun. I don't even care, because we're better off that way. Darwinism has taught us that the fittest will survive and good will conquer evil in most cases, unless you allow the goddamn government to be the bearer of good. And we all know how that works out. I mean, Venezuela, North Korea, you got China, and then you have the former USSR, Nazi Germany, Mussolini, and fucking Mao. All of these people. The way to handle a situation when innocent people are prone to violence from sick individuals is not to strip their defense, especially when you're not going to defend them. I mean, Rick talks about this all the time from Good Luck America. The cops have no duty to protect. So who does? How? In the same statement, government will tell you, you don't need your guns, you shouldn't have them, there's no need for you to have them, government's here, dial 911, and then in the same breath, they'll say, but cops don't have to respond, they don't have to react, nobody has to come and save you. So at the end of the day, who's going to come and save you? Because we know government won't. It's up to you, your friends, your family. I mean, how many times have people broken into other people's houses, subdued the parents, and the 11-year-old child grabbed the gun and saved the whole family? So I don't think there's age limits. None of that makes sense. I know plenty of kids who are 12 years old I would have no problem taking out and letting them shoot my guns and trying them out. Hell, I've let 12-year-olds ride my quad, you know. And if schools are going to tell 12-year-olds that they could cut off their members and make lifelong decisions by blocking hormones and permanently altering their body, in a sense sterilizing themselves, then why can't they do anything else? They should be able to do anything else. Drink, smoke, all the drugs. Go ahead, why not? Because you know it's not a good thing to do. And there's something else behind that LGBTQ thing, and I've spoken on that on other lives. We're gonna stay off that topic tonight. Pride Month's over. Go tell your 2 dads I offended you. We'll have a great time. We could laugh about it in the comments. If people could get guns into prison, no law is going to stop a criminal on the street. Okay, great example. That laws don't do what people think they do. They think because they make a law that suddenly things are going to change. Did you all look around on the 4th of July? Did you see all the footage of fireworks coming in New York, right in New York, all these places where fireworks are illegal? I'll tell you, around here, every other fucking house lighting fireworks. Laws And those are these are mostly law-abiding citizens. They wake up, they go to work every day, they pay their bills, they take care of their family, they take care of their property, and they're out there blowing up fireworks, even though it's completely illegal. You go to jail for blowing up fireworks in the state of New York. But you put a drone up in the sky on Long Island, every other house is blowing them up. And that's law-abiding citizens. And that's something simple like fireworks. You bring it to something serious like the right to self-defense, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to lose a big percentage of law-abiding citizens. Because then they lose their guns in boating accidents. They're not going to turn them in. They're going to buy them every chance they get. And it gets to the point where there's so many laws on the books, you could be a felon for buying the wrong gun because it has the pistol grip and a flash brake, or a muzzle brake. You could be a felon for buying a gun legally. And you're better off just get one without paperwork and then nobody knows you have it. It's easier. That's why every time they ban something, the black market, and it grows. Look at the prohibition. Yo, hey, welcome, Yank. There he is. You made it. So, since you put me on the spot before, I came live, of course. Huntington Beach in Orange County, California, took the fine from 1,000 to 5,000 because no one cares. They have firework task force. Yeah, well, around here the cops stop and watch the shows. Hell, I know one of the best fireworks shows I ever seen was put on by a police officer. He said fireworks laws are gay. He's like, it's a good day for Darwinism because everybody drinks and then they play with explosives. We'll weed out the idiots, you know. I'm gonna just listen. Oh yeah? You're not gonna rattle the cage and then leave me with the comments? Excuse me. Alright, so Yank, to catch you up real quick, what I want to talk about is this mass shooting situation. Not one in particular, but the whole deal. A lot of the factors of why they're increasing. I mean, they seem to be increasing. You hear about them a lot more. They're sensationalized a lot more. And the ones that happen the most where they happen the most aren't making headline news. Only in America do we make headline news, or a place like Denmark. Once in a while you'll hear it. Something tragic happened. But most of the mass shooting reporting that you'll see all over the place 24/7 is from the United States. And then we touched on mental health a bit, because mental health is a serious issue in America. People aren't getting the proper treatment that they need. And a lot of people that are receiving treatment, I don't think it's helping them. Not at all. Especially when you have counselors dealing with minors, affirming their genders. That's not the mental care that children need. That's not healthy for the child. This entire, when I said left-wing school education system, they're all taught to be victims, except for white Americans. And if you're a white American male in today's public education system, they basically crucify you in class. So a lot of people walk around with hate and anger. They hate America, they hate this country, and they hate people that love it. See, that's a big part of it. If you're a patriot and you're flying the American flag, that triggers people nowadays. That should be a serious concern. It might have been a sentiment before Trump was elected, but now it's basically become a political party. The American flag belongs to one political party, and that's the ultimate divide. That's the biggest divide you can have in the country. Everyone has mental health issues nowadays. Now, it seems that way. Or are people just different? Because there's people that are severely mentally handicapped, and then there's regular folk that just think different. I used to listen to Elvis Duran in the morning show. And they started this whole thing about stop being embarrassed to talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or to a counselor. That it's okay everyone needs someone to talk to. And they basically kind of mainstreamed mental health issues. And it's gotten so bad to the point that you have people on TikTok that their whole identity is their mental health issues, 90% of which don't exist. And you have the few that pretend to have, like, Tourette's, which is horrible. You shouldn't be pretending like that for likes and clicks and making light of it, because I've known people with Tourette's, and it's debilitating in a lot of ways. But they made it cool, or they made it unique to you what your mental illness is. Like, what is this shit now you hear? I am the keeper of the gate. I am the this and that of the system, or whatever it is. It's all over TikTok. It's like gender identity, what they did with that. That's your flag to fly. Like, oh, well, I'm special because I'm pansexual, non-binary, asexual. Like, that's why I'm different. That's my special characterization. And now they got mental illness. They're making up, I have 51 personalities. No, you got moods. You got moods. Sometimes you're in a sad mood. Sometimes you're in a bad mood. It's not a different personality. Honestly, though, part of me believes that these people that are doing this do have some serious mental illness issues. We could save the world a lot of casualties if we just banned Democrats and TikTokers from having firearms. You'd probably end mass shootings overnight. I'm just saying. You know, I'm no psychologist, but at this point, let everybody have guns, because the bad ones already have them. Apparently, they're all on police radar, and you're never gonna stop it. You're never gonna stop it. There's already too many guns out there. They're never gonna take them. So anybody out there with these hundreds of millions of guns, if they want to do a mass shooting, they're gonna do it. You gotta just mind your six. Crime has actually been going down since the 80s. More just gets caught on camera. Oh, without a doubt, there's more exposure. They didn't have the cameras back then. And media reports on it. More people get killed by fists and feet. Yeah, hammers, knives. I think knives tops. I think something like knives or hammers. Car accidents. Oh, Eli was telling me about things they do in Cali, like with the education system now. They don't want to stigmatize people, so there's no discipline if you threaten violence at schools and stuff. So like they might say that they're gonna shoot up a school or something, or threaten to shoot somebody at a school, and they don't get reported. They no longer report that, which is a big problem. Let me hit through some of these comments here. This is the struggle. The struggle is real, Yank. I'm mad at not talking to you, Fly Crew. You were going to leave me hanging all alone tonight. He did. He still never hopped on. I was contemplating hopping on, but Bobby saved you. I hopped on after you called me out, and then Yank said again. I was letting Yank run it for a bit. Actually, I was enjoying listening to it. But I always pop in and just say hello. But yeah, no, Fly Crew, me hopping on has nothing to do with your decisions and choices to abandon Yank tonight when he was flying solo. Some wingman you are. Fly Crew, wingman, you see what I did there? I spent the time cleaning up and getting stuff done. You were on a roll. Didn't mean to interrupt that. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt for a while. How about the whole new breed of multiple personality idiots popping up? Oh yeah, no, that's what I was talking about with the TikTokers. Came here from Yank and Gutter's channel tonight. Liked and subscribed. Hope that helps your channel get built up. As you said on Yank and Gutter tonight, you are part of our people. Well, I appreciate that, Alan, and welcome to the show. How are these people always on some watch list? What are your thoughts around this? Well, I got news for you. I say some radical shit, Fly Crow. I'll say some radical shit sometimes. And I know that I'm not on any watch list. Because my intentions are never to hurt innocent people. I don't do shit like that. I don't threaten people. I don't do things to get me on a watch list. I speak my mind, and for some, well, that's enough to abort me. But no, these kids have these interactions. My thought about them always being on a watch list, well, I think the signs were fucking there, and not really so much as law enforcement that people would blame. I blame the friends and family, because these people know them. I mean, all right, for instance, this latest 4th of July shooter. Cops came and seized his weapons after he threatened to kill his entire family. And then one day he comes home with a bunch of guns, and nobody says nothing. You know, that I don't believe in the red flag laws, as they can be abused. I don't think the vetting system or due process is set up correctly for red flag laws, or to entertain them. But some of these people, they already had weapons seized for threatening the lives of their innocent family members. Somebody like that, if they came home with a bunch of guns, I'd be like, oh Lord, here we go, what's going to happen? And the cops can't, nor should they, be all up in your business. They can't watch everything you do at all times in your house. And that's good. You have your privacy. But the people that know these people to be threats and shit, they don't do anything about it. That's not my son. No, he would never actually do that. I know him. He's just a kid. It was a joke. He was just saying it. And then they actually do it. You know, that's the biggest problem. Parent your fucking kids right, to learn about consequence of actions, to value life, to protect innocent people. Raise good fucking kids. Be parents. Stop letting tablets and media raise your kids, and the education system raise your fucking kids. You need to instill values. I know Gotta Go, she says all the time her kids are responsible and she trusts them. It's because she raised good kids with good values, you know, a good support system. I doubt Gotta Go was just like, here, stop crying already, have your tablet, just sit and do that. She taught her kids what life was about. And that's a big difference. Parenting today is not what it was. I was raised not where you beat your kids, but certain things warranted a smack or a spank, you know? Not that weird spanking where they make you drop your drawers and bend over and all that weird shit. It was like immediate reaction, you know? You spit at somebody, you got smacked right on the mouth. You cursed, you got soap in your mouth. You did something really bad, you got a couple of whaps with a wooden spoon, and then you ran to your room all on your own, and you stayed in timeout all by yourself. You didn't get put in timeout. Think about what you did. No, that kid's in timeout just thinking about how angry they are at you that you took away everything. They're sitting there festering in anger. Timeout doesn't do good for kids. Maybe when they're young. I mean, I'm not talking about going around kicking toddlers upside down. I'm talking more about when your kid's at the age where a smack upside the head will mean something to them. Inner city schools have social promotion, which basically means they'll never hold kids back or expel them. That's a big fucking problem. That's teaching kids that you don't have to do anything. Effort doesn't matter. That comes down to accountability. You're not accountable for your actions. You don't do your homework. You get bad grades. Oh, you're not accountable for that. We're going to move you along anyway. Why would kids do anything? And look at the literacy rate. I think we trail in almost every aspect of academia with math, language. All kids can't write. You know what our education system's teaching our kids? About how racist America is, how evil our past is, that Republicans are Nazis, that government is your savior, white people are better than black people because they have privilege, they have life easier, we slaughtered Indians. Everything American culture is evil. Everything American culture is evil. They've robbed them of their past by saying that we were colonizers and slave owners and all that. Now, America's not perfect. You could still buy an African slave today. I could go buy a Libyan for like $200. So don't bitch at me about slavery 150 years ago. And if you want to bitch about African slavery, go tell Africa, because they're still selling African slaves. Go yell at fucking Brazil, because Brazil owned the most African slaves. You want to talk about colonizing? Why don't you ever call out Spain? Why don't you call out China? No, just America did it once, and even though they ended the practice, we're going to crucify them forever. And they're not crucifying America or its history. What they're doing is they're killing the morale of the American people so they could strip us, because we are the freest nation on the planet, and the rest of the world wants our resources, wants our labor, wants our money. You know? My brother worked with homeless vets. He worked these vets that don't want to be indoors due to their deployments. I'm guessing PTSD is that. You see, oh, all right. Well, homeless vets is a totally different issue. That was something that I had brought up on Facebook. Someone was bitching about fireworks, and I kind of concurred where it's like, we're blowing them up to honor the cannons and to honor our forefathers and the people that fought for this nation. But we spend billions of dollars on fireworks. What if we took half that money and donated it to vets? We wouldn't have any homeless vets. They'd have great medical care. I like what Tunnels to Towers does, and they get them homes and stuff. Do I agree with what the government and bankers do when it comes to war? No. Am I aware of the military-industrial complex? Absolutely. But it still takes a level of courage to sign up to be the government's guinea pig, to be their pawn. Because a lot of the people I know that signed up for the service did it because they want to fight for their country. They love this country, they're patriotic, and they're going to keep their oaths. So I think, it'd be nice if a lot of these firework companies donated a lot of the proceeds to the vets. You're going to spend $2,000 to blow up the sky during your barbecue and have a great cookout. How much did you donate to veterans that you're celebrating? Let me catch up on some of the comments here. Fuck Fly Crew. That Texas wussy. Yeah, enjoy your semi-dry heat, sumbitch. Hold on. You know what? Fly Crew's getting... You're fucking blocked. How about that? I'm just kidding. I don't block people here. Yeah, they want red flag laws, but they already have plenty to act on. Just like other gun laws, they want more laws, even though they don't even know what's in half these laws. I got news for you. Neither do we. If ignorance is no excuse, ignorance of the law is no excuse, well, then I want to be able to vote on every line of a bill. You pass a 70,000 page bill or a 10,000 page bill and you didn't read it, but I have to live under it, I'm going to jail if I'm ignorant to any of the laws. And that you're passing out Bibles, you're passing out textbooks, encyclopedias. Every couple of weeks you're passing these things out. Every couple of months you're passing these things out. Americans don't read. We watch 10-second short videos and then we're already bored of it. Nobody, not even the politicians passing these bills are reading them. I forget what the latest bill was. They didn't pass it and they were bitching, and the people like, you released it an hour before we had to vote on it and it's 10,000 pages. None of us know what's in it. Nancy Pelosi said with Obamacare, we have to pass it to see what's in it. That is the complete opposite of how this works. No, we all agree on something or a rule that society should basically abide by, and we agree on it, and then we all live under it. You don't just keep sneaking pork onto the fork and then condemning Americans for not being up on it. You don't even disclose what's in it. Oh, we have to pass it to see what's in it. No, that's not how it works. Those parents are completely out of their minds from swimming in liberal cesspool of modern parenting. Yeah, and it's the schools. They've been doing this since the 60s. Right after World War II, they started the takeover of America. They've been at this like 80 or 100 years. You are a mental patient. I used to lay in bed as a kid fantasizing about my parents getting hit by trucks when they used to get punished. I thank them today for being tough. Yeah, nope, I can relate. Yeah, how many times I said I fucking hate you. I can't wait until I'm just by myself when I would get punished or grounded. And now I thank my mother every day for not not being too lenient, holding me accountable, teaching me what the world was like, teaching me to do it for myself. Kids that grow up with boundaries become happy adults because they understand reality and how to work in it. These other kids, they get away with murder, and then they don't understand. When they don't get their way, it's everybody else. It's everybody else is the problem. They hate everybody else. They don't like any authority, because they just got to do whatever they wanted to do their whole life. They've never been told no. And you tell them no, and suddenly you're the enemy. You know? Screw this. Top chat. More YouTube trying to save you. Yeah. Just saw your message, Yankee. YouTube was busy protecting my delicate feelings. Yeah. It took me a minute to find the live chat, top chat. I mean, some channels, you got thousands and thousands and thousands, and the chat's flying. I put on top chat because they're usually the more relevant ones over the trolls, or I don't know. But here, we're all live chat, baby. Makes sense. All the modern threats were inside a building. Israel gives their vets free cannabis for treating PTSD, but it is very effective in relieving stress. What's up, Chief? Calming the mind and body and healing the mind and body over time. Yes, but not for children. That's one of the points I wrote down. The potency level of cannabis today and the age at which it's accepted to smoke, and how it's become so mainstream and any stigma of doing drugs is gone. It's one thing for an adult like you to smoke, your brain's developed. It's another thing for a child whose brain's not to develop to play with these high potency drugs while being told that their parents are mean and evil bullies because they don't affirm their gender, and they could be whatever they want. Science is thrown out the window, but at the same time, they're racist, they're evil, their country is evil, and the people that support this country want to kill everybody. They erase their past, they erase their present, and then with this whole global climate change, all this fucking this bullshit, they're erasing their future. These kids have nothing to live for. They're miserable, instant gratification, with all these computers and tablets and everything happen instant. That longing for validation with Instagram and likes and interactions. Half these teachers are using the children to validate themselves. I came out to my fourth graders and they accept me for who I am. Is that what you needed as an adult? That you needed fourth graders to congratulate you on how you like to use your Ghibli bits? That's part of this mental illness. You know, we got the mentally ill raising our kids in these schools. You used to worry about the creep in the white van that would hang out by the playground. Now the creeps you got to protect your kids from sit at the big desk right in the front of the classroom. I'm sorry that you felt you needed protection. Yeah, Austin, he probably got his vest on about now. Send it. But man, you all should check out the channel Firearms Unknown. It points out how insane ATF laws are in a cartoon, and it's hilarious. Well, I think I heard something about the ATF kind of getting castrated a little bit with their ability to enforce certain policies, which is good. The ATF, they fuck everything. That's basically the brown shirts coming to take your shit, because you don't see the ATF too often taking down these gang houses and shit. Or the ATF, are they at the border collecting guns being smuggled? I don't see them there either. 10 likes. Awesome. Thank you so much. Beneath the mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath the mask, there is an idea. Mr. Creedy and ideas are bulletproof. I'm not sure I get the reference. Then again, I don't really watch too many movies or TV. Today's pod is not the pod I grew up with. That's a fact. I'm no fan of us adults constantly crowing about smoking pot like some high school nerds. We shouldn't push kids into smoking pot. My principal was gay, and when she tried some liberal bullshit, my dad told her off with no filter, and I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life. Yeah, this started back, like when I went to school, kids got left back. Kids got bullied. We had gifted and talented programs. And, V for Vendetta. Of course, I should know that one, right? Well, I probably had a few drinks. To get me to watch a movie, I gotta be chilling out and relaxed. I like the whole concept behind it. He's one of our people. But I'm not one of those that can... I do horrible with movie trivia references. I could have seen the movie 1,000 times. I'm not one of those that can recite all the words to movies. And those people are annoying. Shut up. Let the actors say it. You know? It's like the people that sing over every goddamn song. I like this song when they sang it. But, where was I? Yeah, no, the drugs, the education system, It's gotten to the point where kids think that they are the masters of the universe. And their feelings are important. If you don't validate their feelings, that you're the problem, and the anger they feel towards you is then reinforced by this nonsense, this way that they're raising them. I understand that your kid is the center of your world. Absolutely. What parent wouldn't feel like that? But at the same time, kid ain't running the show. I grew up where we had the kids table, where you don't interrupt the adults when they were talking. You learn the respect for authority. Because at the same time, you didn't go to work every day and pay the goddamn bills. You didn't cook the damn food. You ate what was on the table, or you didn't eat. You could sit there till your plate went cold. You go to bed without dinner. Now these parents will run around to 5 different fast food restaurants because each one of their kids wants something different. And I feel bad for those parents, and I feel bad for those kids. They're going to be miserable adults. They're going to be the bridezillas. They're going to be the people who flip out when something doesn't go their way. They're going to be the people you see with the public freakouts at a fast food restaurant because there's fucking tomatoes on their burger. Those are the type of people that were raised without boundaries. Now, it's one thing to give your kid, treat them with responsibilities. You can if I ever had a son, he's going to know how to shoot and drive a car, but by the time he's 12, he's going to be good at that shit. I'm going to treat him with responsibility. Doesn't mean he gets to dictate the boundaries I set on him. He's not the parent in the situation. And you love the government now. They're not your kids, they're our kids. The state wants to raise your kids. California said if you don't allow your child to transition, the state will take your kid and do it anyway. They are turning that citizens of the American state, of the United States of America, have become government property. Your assets, your tax cattle. And that's why your independence is frowned upon by people who worship the state. The left is a cult. They're a religion. They worship state. They're secular. Now, I'm not overly religious. I don't thump my Bible. But I like the values installed by the Christian Judeo religion. I think the 10 Commandments would be great commandments for anybody to live by. Honestly, it makes for a decent society. Hold on. I'm getting distracted over here. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Looking for the fucking remote, man.
Oh.
But it might have fell over here.
I guess Eli forgets that I'm broadcasting live on the worldwide internet webums.
I'm the nutcase.
Right. Now you could lean in and say, hello, look at this crazy hair. Look like fucking...
Yeah, no,
like
you're
Twisted Sister.
I can't even see.
They're going to think things. Pride Month's over. Don't go that low.
Where am I? Well, you can't go that high.
There's a delay. There you are.
Oh,
Where were we?
Mental cases.
That quote just has a lot of meaning. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I hate when people say pot isn't addictive. Everything is addictive. Jacking off too much can be a problem. Everything in moderation. Yeah, except beer. The more beer, the better. Only speak when you are being spoken to. Yeah, I mean, you casually talk to your parents and stuff, but in certain situations, you knew when to just be quiet, be seen, and not heard. I threatened to call CPS on my father. He said, go ahead. You'll be dead before they get here. Oh, yeah. And even worse, if you're not dead before they get there. Then they take you. Then you're in the state. Then you're eating sponge cake for lunch. and you eat microwave egg-like product for dinner. And no, sir, you cannot have some more. Only speak, blah, 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 threaten. I'm just glad I never thought drugs were that cool. Most of the druggies from high school are slacking, and we laugh at them. A lot of my friends that started off early with drugs are dead. I went to, I would say, a majority of the people that I used to hang out with, I had to go to their funerals. Heroin hit real hard in my town. Now it's fentanyl everywhere. People are dropping like flies around here. I'm not gonna lie, I started smoking cigarettes pretty early, and then not too long after that was pot. I tended to be a hyper kind of child, so I would take a few hits of a joint, and I would mellow out, play music, I could focus, pay attention. I played sports, but back then you could take a hit of weed and function. Not too long ago, as an adult, I tried taking a few hits, and boy, I felt like a deflated balloon that was becoming part of the couch, and my anxiety was through the roof, and it just wasn't the experience that it once was. You know, I smoke pot, I get paranoid or lazy and useless. I can't think, and I don't want to do anything but just eat and hide. So I mean, I know there's all these different strains and stuff. There's probably some out there that I'll get along with, but I haven't met any yet. Growing up, you could roll up 2 or 3 joints and go play a game of football or take your bike into the woods. That's another problem. These kids don't play outdoors. They're not out in the woods. They're not getting scraped. They're not dealing with physics, real science, physics. You go and you bust your ass on a bike jump a few times. You learn limits. I was taking my younger brother fishing in our aluminum boat by the time I was 12. That's how it should be for those we are responsible enough. I knew how to work on that outboard and make it happen. Yeah, I was babysitting. At 12 years old, I was in charge of watching the kids. They all got their homework done. They were fed. You know, cops didn't come. No one was injured. We didn't do stupid shit. I said, Mom, trust us enough to be left alone. Let's act like it. You know, because there's a party that also wants to be seen as you can take the responsibilities of an adult. Kids nowadays, all kids, I can't wait till I'm going to be big. Look how big, look how fast I'm growing. I'm almost as tall as you. I'm almost old enough to drive. Kids want to grow up. They do. And it's ambition. I get it. And that was a problem when they stopped leaving kids back. Or everybody got a trophy for participating. Participation trophies. They really kill ambition. They don't want you ambitious. Ambitious people get into power, usually become wealthy and powerful, and they don't want their little bubble of the elite 1% being infiltrated by anybody, let alone us pesky citizens, right, Pesky? What up, Eli? Yank says, what's up? I was in foster care for 90 days. Fuck that. Yeah, the system don't treat you like that because the system doesn't have love for you like your parents do. Yeah, it's those Bible Jews and their one eternal God that gave the 10 Commandments to everyone, set moral guidelines to live a good life. Yeah. A lot of people say separation of church and state. That's fine. The state, the government cannot tell you what to worship. That's cool. That's not what we're talking about when we say this country was built on Judeo-Christian values. The values to work hard, to be generous, to be caring, giving, to protect good and to combat evil. The Bible doesn't say anything about not being violent. In fact, if you don't hate evil, you can't be good. And you fight evil. That's what you do. You stand up to the bullies.
The Bible talks about vengeance, stoning people.
Yeah, same here, Bobby. Lost track of dead friends from middle school. Yeah, it happens. I was always nervous about hard drugs and all that shit. I didn't like it. And the friends that I had that I saw started to play with them, they weren't well off. They'd be sitting on the side of the train tracks, itching, freaking out, or getting arrested all the time. ditching school. That, you know. So I got to see it pretty early, and I was like, I don't want that for myself. You know, so it was a long point in my life. I was basically straight edge. I worked out all the time. And by 11th grade, I never missed a day of school. 9th and 10th grade, you couldn't keep me in school. I hated it. I felt like I should be out there living my life, exploring the world. You know, I was too intelligent to just be sitting in a class talking about imaginary numbers and all this bullshit that they cram down your throat that you never use. You know. I was cutting all the neighbors' grass and bushes for money. Yeah, that's what we did back in the day. We used to go around raking leaves, shoveling snow. You know, I don't see that very much nowadays. Now it snows, and you see the dads out there with their snow blowers. Where are the kids? Besides the younger kids, in some families, I know the kids absolutely have to help. But the other kids run around playing. I like when I see kids getting out playing in the snow, at least. But usually you just see the dad out there with the snowblower. Maybe that's his thing. You know, I mean, I've ran a couple of snowblowers, and it can be fun. Could be better with help. But back in the day, growing up, us kids, we shoveled the snow. Mom and Daddy got to chill out. They had the snow day. We went out, we shoveled it all, we played in it, and then we went around shoveling to make money. We knew what it was to work and make a buck. And then when you got that dollar, no one could take it from you. That's your dollar. You made that dollar, and you could spend it however you want. You know, now they're all raised on, oh, mommy and daddy's money. Mommy did this, daddy get me that, and they don't learn the value of hard work. It is an insult. The participation trophies. I only ever wanted to participate, just get a chance at proving I was worthy of trophy. Yeah. Absolutely. You want to earn it. And you get that trophy. It's an accomplishment. It's an achievement. It's not just a receipt of I was there. I was in jail at 17. So in my senior year, I realized that I was lucky to be in a class getting an education and bettering my future. Yeah, you learn from that shit. You do. You know, or you learn from somebody else. You know. I always hung out with the older kids. So, like, I think I was when I got into 9th grade, all the people I hung out with were already seniors or graduated. Because the kids my age were idiots. Not all of them. Some of them. Some of them still are. A lot of them, we grew up. We learned the ropes of life. My kids are too lazy and too spoiled to help me cut the lawn or shovel snow. Well, that's up to you to do something about it, bud. You know, I don't know your kids. I don't know the dynamics there, so I don't have any advice other than if you want change with that, that's up to you to make that change. You gotta change some policies around there. You know, we were never told that we had to shovel. It was the right thing to do so our mother didn't have to. Or our father that worked hard all the time finally got a day off. That was our chance to give back. And it was fun. We'd go out, we'd play for hours. And it helped that we weren't allowed back in until dinner time. You know. Next time it snows a foot, just leave them out there till dinner time. You'll see them shovel a little bit. Even if it's only to build their own igloo to keep warm. You'll see some snow getting shoveled. Even if they're picking it up to throw it at the house. At least it ain't on the driveway no more. You know. Anyone else have regular chores as a kid that didn't have any allowance money? Because it was just part of what you were supposed to do to help the family. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, mowing the lawn as a kid, it was fun in the beginning because you finally got to mow the lawn like that. After a while, it was a chore. Doing the dishes. My mother didn't even ask that much of us. My mom took really good care of us. She spoiled us sometimes and in certain ways. But her biggest thing was just clean up after yourself. In the least, clean up after yourself. Clean your room. I give you this space, take care of it. If you make a dirty dish, clean it. If you make a mess, clean up after yourself. I'm not your maid. I'm your mom. You know, that was the type of stuff that we had. Can't do anything about it because divorce and kids in different state. Ex-brainwashed kids, spoiled, hateful, and lazy. Oh. And if they're not living with you, though, that's different. I mean, unless you're going to import them during a blizzard. I'm sorry, that's a tough spot. And I hate that. I hate when parents do that with the children. They fuck up the kids because the adults made decisions to no longer be together. And now the kids are like, they use them like chess pieces, and they get into their heads. That's a form of child abuse. It's fucked up. I've seen it, and it happens more often than most people would imagine. Very seldom do I see couples divorce and everything's all hunky-dory the whole time. You know. My mother was divorced, but she never spoke bad of my father. You know. And then there would be times I would start talking shit about him. And she would say, well, he's always done right, you know, with child support and all of that. Like, he's not a deadbeat. But, so she was, you know, she kind of left that bridge unburned for a while. He burnt it all on his own. Now, as I'm a grown man, you know, I see where the cards have fallen. I wish things were different, but it's not in my hands. He's a grown man, and the phone goes both ways. I remember washing dishes at a restaurant at 13 to pay rent because my dad paid out the child support. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. My grandfather back in the day, he had to work. They grew up during the Great Depression, and his money went right towards the rent, so they all had a home, just like the parents. You know. I grew up on a big farm, so chores were a part of life, and I was shocked to learn that some kids got an allowance for what is just part of life. Yeah, and that's hard. I give it to you, Alan. Growing up on a farm, that's hard work. Those chores aren't simply wash the dishes, take out the garbage. Farm chores are different. Very different. That's hard work. And that was 5. Vacuuming hallways for $5 whole. But that's good. They taught you a good work ethic. You know? Talking shit about the other parent is just pathetic. At least when the kids are young. Maybe at 18 they can handle hearing the truth. But before that, yeah. And there's always two sides to it. You know? There's always two sides to it. But the kids should always be kids. And both parents, if they should be there for them. The kids shouldn't have to suffer because adults made decisions. And they do now. Everybody treats their fucking kids like therapists. I see it. I want my kids to like me. Okay. That's great. Your kids like you. You keep bailing them out. They're hooked on drugs. And their life's going to shit, but they like you. There's a trade-off somewhere. And that ties into accountability and feelings. And these are things that it's gone more and more to the feeling side of the kids. The more and more we've knelt down to the feelings of children and removed the values of God or the fear of God. You know, the fear of God did a lot. And during the asylums, my grandmother would tell me, you keep that up and the men in white coats will come and take you. I was scared of the men in white coats. You know how many times I would be looking around for that ambulance? Oh, that's it. I called them. They're going to come and get you if you don't knock it off. You know? I wasn't the perfect child. I was a climber. I climbed furniture. I jumped all over everything. I like to hammer nails and stuff. You know? And, so there's a big... The whole damn system's abusing the mental well-being of children. They're turning out spoiled narcissists who aren't accountable, who their feelings are the entire world. Everybody should pay attention to them. They're important. They're the most important. How they feel is gospel, no matter what they feel. You can't challenge them on anything. And most of their belief systems are it's propaganda and outright lies at this point. I mean, the Democrat Party honestly operates on nothing but lies. The Republican Party operates on false hope in politicians. We'll deal with facts, but our party doesn't do anything to fucking stop it. You know? How many Republicans signed for red flag laws? They shouldn't be allowed to be Republicans. Yep, Republicans will vote for them. They'll try to see it their way because, oh, well, this politician wants to fix all these other things. I don't care. You come in and say, we're gonna put child molesters to death, but I want common sense gun law. No, you lose me there. I was with you with the kid fucker thing, but, you know, and that's the big problem with our side. We're not a hive mind, and we deal with reality, and everybody has different opinions when it comes to objective truth. I think another problem that nobody talks about, how many people are music fans here? I know Yank and I think Nick and Yank, they talked an awful lot about music. Music! We got music. Big culture shift in music. And I'm not talking about, it used to be classic rock and then blues and then jazz and then this hip hop and all that. I'm talking about the frequencies. Everything resonates with frequency. You could break bonds of cells. You could bond cells, or bond molecules with frequencies, resonating frequencies. And a lot of the tones that are used in music, a lot of the rhythms, algorithms, the tones, the frequencies, and the repetition of certain frequencies, it's making people dumb. Stupid and crazy. It really is. Forget about hip-hop glorifying being a gangster. Well, that's why you got problems in that culture. In the inner city, everybody wants to be a thug. Being a thug's the cool thing because they have the hot chicks, all the money, nice jewelry. They got the big cars. Nobody wants to mess with them because of their reputation. But most of them don't make it to see that. They die in jail or in the street. You know, they don't hear about that part. That part of that culture. And there's nothing with skin color. There's white people that are the same way. This is not a race thing. It's a culture thing. At one point, I was even an aspiring rap artist. I used to make beats and all that shit. You know, I was gonna start my own record label. You know, but I'm also a musician, so I was into music regardless. It's just why not dive into some of that? But my hip hop would have been a little bit different. I probably would have been more like a Tom McDonald talking about the system and politics, like a KRS-One. You know, I like hip-hop, man. There's plenty of rap and shit that I love. I do. But I know as a musician and someone who pays attention to frequency, a lot of these frequencies they use, they make you dumb. They make you dumb or mad or crazy. I can take a guitar and make you feel 7 different emotions with 7 different chords. It's all easy because it's all frequencies. It's the tones and frequencies. I could play an A minor that would make you feel sorrow or make you feel a little depressed, or I could play an open G, which would make you feel happy, relaxed, inspired, you know, and those are the different notes and their frequencies resonating with your brain, and it actually controls your emotion. You ever put on sad music and get sad, or you go, I hate this fucking song, I don't like it, then you put on something like Judas Priest, and you just want to floor it and drive at 120 miles an hour down an open freeway? That's the music manipulating your thought process, manipulating your feelings. That's the frequencies. And a lot of the stuff, if you listen to the music from this latest shooter, the 4th of July shooter, his music was trash. Not only was it weird, it was just trash. And it was stupid tones. It was the stupid tones that I'm warning about now. They say, yeah, and here's another example, listening to classical music will make you smarter. Yeah, because the frequencies of those harmonic minor arpeggios and scales and all that, they massage your brain different. Your brain will create different connections, and it will help different areas function better together or function better itself, you know. I do believe that basing cause stuff will do horrible things with a person's energy and stuff. Made me envy the deaf. Oh, you heard his music, huh? Cats in the Cradle is the worst song of my life. Yeah, and here's another thing. Okay, now we can equate, this to touch on something Yankee was talking about earlier. Why can't we just spark rights of protest and organize as well as the left do? Well, the left all listen to the same garbage shit. Look at us with just music alone. One likes bass, one doesn't. One hates La Bamba. The other one hates Cats in the Cradle. I listen to all music, and I'm not going to lie. I have a big-ass kicker box I want to put in the back of my SUV. I want to be moving air, baby. Ba-boom, ba-boom. I just love feeling the music. But I also love going to concerts, you know. So wherever I go, I want to feel like I'm in a concert. But in my car, honestly, I never listen to music, really. Very rarely. Very rarely will I listen to music. It's usually talk radio. I like keeping my brain stimulated instead of the same 7 songs over and over and over. Certain frequencies of sound kills cancer. Certain frequencies of sound causes cancer. Certain frequencies cause cancer. Radio frequency. All this wireless, bandwidth, Wi-Fi. You ever look at the signs near the bottom of a cell tower and it says warning, high frequency radiation? It's, you know, and to keep your distance from it. It scrambles your DNA. That's all frequency. It's all frequency. They asked Jimi Hendrix how he got his tone so like colorful and warm, and he said he would tune to the normal 440 hertz range, and then he would tune it down a step, and it brought it in a little warmer. It was a different frequency. It resonated differently, and that's why his sound was so unique. And I think they found a new frequency. I think the one that we've been operating off of, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the 440 or 437, somewhere around there. 440 something, 440 I think. I don't think that's the best frequency for us to be using. It has a hypnotic like effect, kind of like frames per second with televisions. They tap in to a portion of your brain. Subliminal messaging works for that reason. And it's all frequency. The frequency of data coming in, frames per second. If you put that in a linear chart, you can view it like a wavelength. I think it's like 35 frames per second. Taps into something in the core of your brain. You ever see people just zombie out? Or like you gotta pee or something and you're sitting there watching a video and you're like, man, I really gotta pee. But you can't just stop watching the damn video. You can't bring yourself to just hit pause and go do whatever it is you have to do and come back. You get like tranced. These things are what our kids are growing up on now. These tablet babies, as I call them. And Cocomelon is a cult. Don't let your kids watch Cocomelon. Or anything Disney Plus. Because now it's all drag queen shit. Disney Plus, Disney Plus. Let's see how much you hear about drag queens now Pride Month's over. And I don't have a problem with the LGBT community. You're adults, do whatever the hell you want. I've known people who were swingers. They had key parties. That ain't my style, but you're not doing it to my children, so I don't give a shit. Leave the kids out of that shit. Kids should be growing up, learning values, afraid of God, afraid of their, respectful of their parents, you know. Afraid of doing the wrong thing because of how society would look at them. You're not a victim. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You made a bad choice. You know? 580 hertz scrambles brains. And 440 ain't far off from that. Classical music makes my plants drive. And metal makes them will. Yeah, metal will also make termites eat through your house faster. Fluorescent lights also has negative strobe that affects mood. It's too fast for your eyes to pick up, but your brain and video does. Oh, yes, it does. And these LEDs, these light-emitting diodes, if I take my speaker that's lit up with LEDs and I shake it real fast, you can see each LED separately. It's weird. It's a really weird effect. If you're just holding it, it looks like a solid light, and then you start shaking it, and you can see it. It's not natural light. As Trump said, bring back our good old light bulbs. Our good, warm, incandescent, perfect, the best light bulbs. And it's natural light. It's different. Soft tones. All this blue light. Blue light also keeps you up at night. All these TV screens, all these LED screens, they're in the blue spectrum of light. And it kills your melatonin production. And you like to sleep with the TV on. That worked with the old box TVs. These new LEDs is a little different. It is. I know it because sometimes I turn my computer off and that never used to affect me. Old tube televisions and stuff or big screen projection TVs never really bothered me. I could sleep in front of it all night. Something about these new LEDs and flat screens and stuff, they hit me different. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to get a little conspiratorial here, but I heard something about them being able to take resonance frequencies from LEDs and essentially use them like microphones. And then it could tap into the wiring of your house and essentially listen in like your LED light's a goddamn microphone. Now, don't quote me, but I remember hearing something about that. I haven't gotten a chance to really dive into it, but I know that the FBI back in the 50s were able to aim a laser at your window and hear into your house. So I wouldn't be surprised what they got now. And they don't need it. We got cell phones. We track ourselves. We broadcast ourselves. But there's a lot of things. And it's all with the youth. Look at the last 3 shooters. What was it? 18, 18, and 22. This aren't 35-year-olds going out there and doing it. And they're all on these lists. I wonder how many of them would take a medication, too, because they give these psych meds. You know, yeah, you can't use pot to calm your ADHD child down. But take these pills. It might increase suicidal thoughts. It'll turn him into a zombie. It might scramble some of the synapses and connections in his brain, but hey, at least it ain't weed, right? The devil's lettuce. I think they're going about it all wrong. This is for my future child. If you ever go back and watch Daddy's YouTube, first of all, I'm sorry. I apologize for embarrassing you. Second of all, fuck your feelings, boy. And what are you doing sitting here watching YouTube? You should be out taking care of the house, taking care of your family, and go make a few dollars, will you? Get off your ass. Stop staring at the screen. Bring me back some cold beer. Love you. So, I think there's a lot to unpack with what's going on with the children, and it's not just one single issue. You can't just say, oh, it's the video games. It ain't the fucking video games. You know how many kids I know play video game, play Call of Duty, all this and that? They're young kids, play Call of Duty, and we'll go in the backyard, shoot BB guns. Never once do they think to shoot somebody. They want to hit the target. They want to make a good soldier. They're like, nobody's going to mess around here because I'm going to defend my family. They play video games. I grew up with video games. I grew up with violent movies. All that shit. Terminator. Hell, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was all violence. It was all fighting. But it was all about defending good and facing evil and facing true evil. That's the problem. These kids don't know what the true evil is. They're getting told that government is now going to fix everything. Mommy and daddy are wrong about everything. And people that love this country are racist and evil. And that's why... That's probably why the kid went and shot up the 4th of July. Oh, look at all these racist Nazi patriots. These far-right extremists that are a threat to our democracy. He probably thought somewhere in his head he was doing a good thing. You know? I think he should have got lit up like Jalen did. He should have got lit up. That boy should have been hole-punched in that freeway. Should have been. What do they want? Answers out of him? Answers? You kill them, and you move on. You don't celebrate them. You don't make a big thing about it. And you definitely don't go attacking law-abiding citizens. Why am I being treated like a mass shooter? Why are my guns getting put on the chopping block for something someone else did? We should start... I'm going to start suing car manufacturers every time there's an accident. I get in an accident, I'm suing. Whatever kind of car they had, I'm going to write a letter. I'm suing you for punitive damages because your product was misused and caused physical injury. If you never made that car, they wouldn't have had it to hit me with. No one needs an assault car. You know? Oh shit, yeah, you gotta watch out for that erection frequency. You know? Gotta watch out for that one. But, well, it's been... Oh, fuck. It's after midnight. I think there's way more to unpack on this. But, as I close out, I want to thank all the new subscribers, the people that subscribe, all you guys who've been coming here, who come here, the people who are here now. Yankee, you made one. Fly Crew made one. Bluntman made one. I want to thank all you guys for coming. And, we kind of all have a decent understanding of why society is going to shit, and people feel less bad about going around and committing these mass shootings on innocent people. Now, I want to pick your brains because I know there's a tough line to walk here when it comes to what should we do about it, but also maintain our freedoms. Because, see, like, I'm at the point where they've infringed so much on my rights, I don't even care if crazy people got guns. Let everybody, you come out the moon, you're an American citizen, here's your Glock, kid, go make daddy proud, you know. But, what do you guys think would be some actual, and think about it, logical, actual steps that could be enforced without infringing on the rest of society? What could be done about mass shootings? Because I'll be honest, as far as I see it, to an extent, I don't think there is much you could do. You just got to be aware. You got to be aware. You got to have a plan. You should have, you know, someone starts firing. What's your reaction? How do you react to that? Can you engage with them? Do you hide? Do your kids know what to do? You know? And that was a sad thing to hear about that toddler. Both his parents lost in the toddler. That's horrible. Just because I support everybody's right to self-defense doesn't mean that I'm okay with mass shootings. And I think that goes for all of us. I don't think it's a far stretch to say it. But throw it in the comments section below after the live is posted. Once I end the live, drop a comment in the comment section that will stay there posted, because this is the live chat. You can only see it on replay. But after I end this, which I'm going to be doing in about 15 seconds, leave some ideas that you would have on what we can actually do. You want to go out to a 4th of July parade. How do you worry less about a mass shooting happening? What are actual steps that we as a society could take, us as personal citizens can take, and what laws, if you believe, hey, some people believe in red flag laws, and that's your own prerogative. That's fine. I don't. I can't. I may not subscribe to your idea, but I don't hate you because you have one. But there's plenty. Throw your thoughts down below, and maybe we'll unpack some of those. But thanks for coming to the after party. This is the official piggyback ripoff of Yank and Gutter every Tuesday. Make sure you're subbed over there, which I know all you guys are. Thank you for coming. Yank and Fly, thanks for, I guess, pushing me to do it. Like Yank said, once you get in, you get going, and then you're on a roll. And you're welcome for doing this live. I love it. Once I'm into it and I'm going, I mean, I can't believe it's been an hour and 15 minutes already. If I even brought up another point, I could go for another hour. And you guys in the comments, you guys are the smart people. You guys get it. You see, true intelligence comes from the comment section here. And this is why I mess with you people. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Ann. Thank you for being here. I love all you guys. I really do. You give me faith in humanity, you know. The society is going to shit, and we're all on the same boat. So, you know. But, yeah, I'm going to end it now. Thanks for being here. And, well, hopefully I catch you all on the next one. Until then, stay awesome, stay blessed, and most importantly, stay free. Good night, America. And outside of America, wherever you're from. Good night, world.